Well, greetings to all of you in our Regions Beyond churches in the United Kingdom. Special greetings for those of you who are seeing this on the Easter weekend, and pray that you've had a glorious time in the presence of our risen King today. But to those of you who will see it a week later, I hope too that you've had the most wonderful Easter weekend. It's hard to believe that Heather and I will be heading over to the UK in just over a month now to become resident there and begin to work primarily among our UK-based churches. It's both daunting, exciting, and particularly that over the last week I have felt God begin to speak to me very clearly about all that He intends to do. For the past 2 weeks we have been here in Clarens in the Free State of South Africa, where we joined a team with Ray Lowe and John Colwell, training our next generation of leaders. And then it was straight into Master Builders, where some 400 from our churches across Southern Africa, Africa, and then the nations gathered for Master Builders, a conference aimed at equipping our leaders to become master builders of the church. And what a glorious time it was, the diversity, the African freedom, and just really a wonderful time. God began to speak to me very clearly on the second morning. I was prayed for on 2 occasions and received wonderful insight and promises for all that's to come as we relocate to the UK. We will be in the UK about a month when we, for the very first time, gather for Fusion 2016. Now, Fusion was born in our hearts as a way of gathering our churches so that we could begin to build deeper relationships and understanding. We could begin to hear from God corporately, so that faith could grow in terms of our mission and our togetherness. It was on one of the mornings that one of the leaders prophesied over me and began to give me insight of what's to come. And as I received from God and began to hear Him, I, for the first time, started to feel that God was downloading vision for our time together. And I must admit, I am now seriously excited about all God's got for us. Now, I want to ask you today, if you haven't signed up or given yourself to come to Fusion, would you please consider it? Because what I intend to do is, in the 2 main sessions that I will do, I'm going to detail our plan going forward. And how wonderful it would be for you to be there and hear it firsthand, give yourself to prayer for it, be able to buy into all God's got for us. Now, I realize it's a massive commitment. Some of you have to travel many miles, and also realize that the cost is quite considerable. But this is where our African churches come in. We're in one of the poorer parts of Southern Africa, and those of you who have visited here will know that many of our people live in rural lands. But at Master Builders, as we do every year, we take up an offering which we sow into the nations. And this year, we set the target very, very high. When I first heard what the leaders were trusting God for, I wondered and I thought, oh Lord, you're going to have to stretch our faith. And on one of the prayer mornings, we always have 3 prayer mornings, we decided to pray during the meeting for the offering. And I explained to everybody that we had asked for a 50% increase in what had been given before. During that prayer meeting, Maria Jones from Gloucester came forward and said, I feel so stirred by this. I want to say that Mark and I are ready. This is what we're going to give. Well, it triggered faith in the meeting. And by the time we finished the prayer meeting, the total amount of 120,000 Rand had been given already in the prayer meeting. That was our target, or just short of it. And so we went into the conference already having received what we had trusted God for. But on the Saturday night and through the conference, we explained that we would continue to take up the offering because we wanted to bless One Nation Church in Mumbai. We needed funding to grow our work in the Philippines. And thirdly, we wanted to grow our work in this region. Well, I'm very pleased to say that we were overwhelmed. God did not disappoint. And not only did we receive the 120,000, but double that amount was given on Saturday night at Master Builders. 240,000 rand was given into the offering. And together as African leaders, we are going to sow some of that money into the UK to help those in the churches who couldn't afford to get to Fusion. Now, it might not convert into the great amount we would like, but some 25% of the offering is going to go across to help you get to Fusions. That is the extent of our belief that God wants to do something significant. So may I ask you to reconsider if you haven't signed up yet, and let's pack that showground out with our people from Regions Beyond Churches. We have great speakers, but that's not the main point that we are going there. We're gathering to God. We're gathering to Him is going to show us the way forward. And my hope is that out of our togetherness, we would see many churches planted, many leaders raised up, many lives restored, because we're going to give a lot of time to prayer, a lot of time for encountering God and serving one another. If you've been in Regions Beyond for some time, you will know that it's our heart to be there for one another's success. And that's not just in leadership, that's for each and everyone. And so we hope that by the time that Fusion weekend comes to a close, God has truly fused us into one common family with a deep respect and love for one another, and also a very clear and meaningful mission as we go forward. I'm extremely excited, and even though we've had a glorious week here in Clarens, God spoke to us during the conference, and He said it would be a time like never before. And I feel it's almost a season we're going to live in. So, talk to your leaders. There's some money from Africa to help you get there, and I hope that I will see you at Fusion. God's got great things for us. Much love from Heather and I. We leave here in a few days' time to go and pack up our home, get our youngest son Adam settled in Dubai, and then we head over to London. So, can't wait to see you. See you in Norwich at the end of May for Fusion 2016.